I was gonna keep this a secret and not share it with anybody online. This video is a little bit different from some of my previous video, and I'm sorry about that, but I feel like I need to update you guys on what's been going on in my life, just because there's gonna be a little bit of a change going forward on this channel, and just wanted you guys to hear it from me. Because I know there's gonna be a ton of questions in the comment sections in all my videos going forward, and I just wanted to kind of just get it all out there and just get everybody on the same page. Generational curse. So this is a picture of me when I first got married 10 years ago. And this is a picture of me in 2018. Do you see the difference? This generational curse is the genetics that were just given to me. This is a picture of my dad. This is a picture of my grandpa, my mom's side. I didn't get the best cards. So after seeing my genetics and seeing the trajectory, I figured might as well embrace the future and just zip, buzz it all off. And that's exactly what I did last summer. My kids and wife hated it. Should I shave my head again?
No.
Okay, I won't.
I'd be so mad at you if you did it.
Okay. And I don't blame them. I have what I call a light bulb head, not your classic Jason Statham look, if you ask me. And then insecurities didn't really start kicking in until I went to places where I couldn't wear a hat, whether it was a nicer restaurant for, let's say, a wedding anniversary or birthdays, or having family pictures taken, the memories that last forever. And I've tried almost all the options that are out there for health restoration. And the reality is that stuff really works when your hair is on its way out, not when it already left. So over the years, I decided to put a little bit of money aside to make sure that I finally have my last opportunity to get my hair. So on December 19th, 2022, I finally booked an appointment to have a hair transplant. And it didn't go as well as I thought it would. The rest of this video, I'll explain exactly how much a procedure like this costs, exactly what the process looks like, and I documented exactly what the recovery process looks like. On Monday, December 19th, I came in at 7 o'clock in the morning for my appointment. By 7:30, the team has drawn out the hairline that I would like to have. And this is such a weird thing because you have your own natural hairline. This is your rare opportunity to come up with your own hairline. Once myself and the team was happy, they made all the correct measurements, making sure everything's symmetrical, and then it was off to the races. The day of the operation, they give you 3 kinds of medication. 1 is an anxiety relieving medication. It's the same stuff you take if you had, like, let's say, a vasectomy. 2, they give you a quick little pain medication, and that's mostly so when they numb you, it doesn't hurt as bad. And 3, an antibiotic that you'll be taking for the next 3 days. After that, you lay on what looks like a dentist chair, face down into the same attachment that you'd see on a massage chair. Once I was numb and comfortable, they started using a machine called the neograph, where it essentially bores out a hole the thickness of a ballpoint pen, and it extracts the follicle, the root of the hair, and stores it in a little container. For my procedure, they took out 1,500 follicles or 1,500 grafts. And the cool thing about these 1,500 grafts is that 1 graft doesn't equal 1 hair. 1 graft could be 1 hair, 2 hairs, 3 hairs, maybe even 4 hairs. While the first technician is extracting those 1,500 grafts, the second technician is separating them out in different categories where it has single follicle, doubled, or triple. That'll dictate where they get planted. Typically, they say that multiple hairs go towards the back of your hairline and single hairs go up front to keep more of a natural look. I fell asleep very quickly and was probably maybe awake for only 30 minutes. Now the technician started poking holes, the same 1,500 holes where they'll be planting all those follicles into place. Of course, they numbed me up as well, and I felt nothing. The numbing actually feels like as if you have a brim hat, and whenever they touch the forehead, it feels so distant and so far and so fake. Thank God for local anesthesia. AirPods in, listen to a book on Genghis Khan. By the way, wild, wild story. And at this point, both the technicians are off to the races like as a NASCAR pit crew. One is working on one side, the other is working on the other side, and they're planting each graft into each of the holes they just bored out. We started at 7:30, we were done by 2:30. Placed some bandages on the backside of my skull, wrapped a bandage around it to keep it in place, and I was ready to have my wife pick me up. I planned to take the entire week off, not doing anything. My restrictions are, can't wash my hair, can't work out, can't sweat. That means we're definitely not gonna finish the pantry that we're working on right now. The day after the operation and the first 3 days were a cakewalk. All right guys, quick little update. It's been officially 24 hours, 1 full day since the procedure. No more pain meds today, not even taking Tylenol. Nothing's itchy yet. Sometimes it feels a little tender for a little bit, but they gave me this little saline spray bottle. They said just put it in the refrigerator so it's cold and then a couple of dashes over it. And the coolness of that saline and the moisture, it really feels good on top. The doc said I could wear hats, but the only hat that I can wear is what they call a Peaky Blinders hat or a mail boy hat, where it hugs you only around the rim on the forehead and the back and no pressure goes on top. And then day 4 kicked in. All right, today is day 4. I just woke up. My eyelid is shut. As you can see, all the fluid drained from my forehead, which, you know, good, no more pressure there. But it went right into my eyelid and It does want to stay open. I really thought day 4 and 5 are just gonna be the worst of it, and then by the time we get to the end of day 5, we're smooth sailing. Boy, was I wrong. Day 5 update. As you can see, the swelling from the eye went down, and it shifted into my eyelid here. I spoke to the doctor. He said that, you know, it's basically following the path of least resistance, and after this, it should get absorbed into the fat tissue and muscle and all that stuff. But nothing hurts. It just feels like you have crazy sinuses running. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. At this point, pressure drainage is the only thing that's really bothering me. Not to mention, I look like a completely different person when there's all this swelling on your face. The only thing that really bothered me was that at nighttime, the back wounds that they extracted the grafts from, they really started to sting. But with a little bit of extra strength Tylenol, it's totally manageable. And the wild part about it is when I consulted my doctor about all the swelling, he said only 1 in 10 people experience this level of swelling. So I get to draw the short end of the stick. Well, today is day 6 and I'm finally clear. So day 6 update, I finally feel somewhat like myself. All the swelling went down. There's probably just a tiny bit, but it's finally getting absorbed. Got bruising right there from all the fluid. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is 6 days post-operation. Nothing hurts up front, though it looks like a complete chaos mess. And this is what the back looks like. That's where all the stinging is coming from. It's so annoying even right now. I'm probably due for a little bit of Tylenol and I should be back on track. Like I mentioned, today is day 6 of no activity. I have 5 more days until the doc says I could be cleared for everything, all activities, all kinds of hat wearing. That day can't come fast enough. You can travel to places like Turkey, that's very well known for this kind of procedure, and get it done for far cheaper than it is in the United States. Though you have to consider travel, stay, food, and all the things that associate with overseas traveling. And of course, you can get far more grafts or implants than you would here in the United States. They kind of squeeze as much as they can at once. And from my research, it shows that some of these costs start at about $2,500 bucks. Now, let's say getting it done here in the United States costs, of course, vary just like housing, depends on which part of the country you're in. I live in Idaho, and my cost for 1,500 grafts was roughly around $7,000. Though I have friends who are in Washington State, and they paid a few grand more than that. So that's kind of like the ballpark, plus or minus. And of course, it depends how many grafts you get. In my situation, I have 1,500 grafts taken out. Other people might need 3,000, and of course, the grafts cost will go up. He then said, after about a year, when everything's healed and growing back, I can come in, if I wanted to, for a second procedure, which only costs a small fraction of the cost. And that'll get you close to 80% of your hairline. I don't know if I'm gonna come back for that. We'll see what this looks like. Now, he did say Elon Musk got his done, and he had like 3 procedures, allegedly, but who knows? So I hope you guys enjoyed all this information and maybe it's been informative for you guys. It's definitely something that I'm excited about. This is essentially like a boob job for a guy's head. It definitely improves your confidence. Tune out this week. We'll see you guys on the next one. See ya. Bye.